My name is Milena Miliva Blažić. I teach at University of Ljubljana, Faculty of Education, Humanities, Literary Science. My specialty, I'm expert on children's literature, especially fairy tales and picture books. I teach at least for 30 years at this university. My students would be preschool teachers and primary school teachers. That means they would meet children in a kindergarten, in primary school, with the first sign of possible abuse or maybe violence. But I teach children's literature from the point of view literary system. We have authors, we have readers, the children, we have books, but I'm very critical to the institution. I work in public university, in public school, and I'm very critical to the Slovenian Ministry of Education because they put into curriculum at least 3 pedophiles. And this is paradox, precedence. And these pedophiles, they have contact with the children, physical contact, a workshop just for the boys, and they also try to put in this literature abuser point of view. And I'm critical to the institution because they are responsible to put this author, into the curriculum. According to children abuse in connection possibly with institution, not just with the church, the first recorded abuse is 800 years old, from the 13th century. This is, my professor Jack Zipe said, fairy tales are power of powerless. And he said this child abuse in the 13th century, we have at least three different interpretations. This is children crusades, it could be. This is also Christian boys in church or monastery, but it could be also pedophile story. But what is important, that this story that is written in Hamelin Church, Cathedral, and all monastery documents, so many different documents, become children's fairy tales in Brothers Grimm, Hamelin children. We have, I could not go into the detail of this story. If you would like, I will give Alessandra and Sylvia PowerPoint, and you could use it also. This is absolutely important detail. Please remember children of Hamelin, because this is 800 years old stories that is not resolved yet. The next, in children's literature, in literary theory, we have a strategy how to recognize if the fairy tale, the text is written from the point of view of child victim, or from the point of view of the abuser. And if you see Kinder- und Hausmärchen, this is international acronym for Brothers Grimm fairy tale, and on the left side you could see the first Little Red Riding Hood variant. In children's literature we have 2,000 different variants of Little Red Riding Hood. The first one for children, that's mean infantile text, but adult context. And in a Charles Perrault variant, 300 years old, you could not, the wolf ate Little Red Riding Hood. 8 means raped her. And if you read this moral at the end of the fairy tale for children, you could see it could be warning. Children, take care, self-guarding yourself, or be care of the predators, especially wolves. They are sweet, they are charming, they are polite, and so on. My professor Jack Zipes said, Little Red Riding Hood, this variant, is a tale about rape and the survival of, or non-survival of a rape victim. We are going on. As I said, I'm professor of children's literature. I use fairy tale fable, and this is famous fable about the same topic, Little Red Riding Hood, but the Slovenian bishop in 19th century little bit changed it, and he put old fox and young hen. But if you see, I'm very sorry, but this was written from the perspective of abuser. He's on the side, on the old fox. Old fox is in the title, in the beginning and at the end. If he would like to write a fairy tale for children with happy ending, he would finish, and finally she escaped happily. But from the pedophile point of view, abuser point of view, he added the fox could only look sadly. That's mean I sympathize with the narrator, and so on and so on. You could see that literary theory, we have strategies how to analyze perspective from the child point of view or abuser. Now I would like to show you something interesting. You will be more or less shocked. I use theory by Slavoj Žižek. Slavoj Žižek, maybe you are familiar with Slavoj Žižek. He's a world-famous philosopher, but he's also our neighbor in Ljubljana. This is some kind of coincidence. He wrote a book, The Plague of Fantasies. In this book, especially in the chapter 7 Veils of Fantasies, Slavoj Žižek said to you, please look through the text. Don't, look through the text. I will show you, I would apply this, his theoretical approach to the famous, the most important Slovenian contemporary writer, Svetlana Makarovič. She wrote her own variant of A Little Red Riding Hood from a we call this crossover. That means children could read it, but also the adult could read it. This is Red Apple. I would like just to show. At the beginning, we could see there once lived a little girl who had no name. We have the child victim, without name, without identity, without parents, without face, a wounded child. This is archetype of invisible child. Here we could see maybe this is monastery environment, maybe it is orphanage, maybe it is public school, but it is institution. And Žižek said, this picture book, the fantasy, this girl is girl, boy, Svetlana Makarovič used girl, boy, and middle gender, and she wanted to find her family, her identity. And Slavoj Žižek, she fantasized, the main character fantasized, and Slavoj Žižek said, a fantasy constitutes desire, provides its coordinates, and literally teach us how to want. And this victim want. Now we would see. You could see and Greco-Roman Minotaur, labyrinth, Escher, staircase. I could not go into details. She is going. We could see separation, initiation, and at the end, individualization. We could see references to the Bible, River Giordano, Rastiela Gates, and so on. And she is alone in the world. And now she met predator, abuser. And we could see the main person, wolf, adult or abuser, possess puppet-like character. This is Little Red Riding Hood. This could be child. And this meeting between them relating to experience violence, sexuality, and also abuse. You could see shadow, anima, and persona according to Carl Jung. I could not go to the detail. This is one of the most important picture book. If we read verbal text, we could read that the wolf had a social mask. Could you see? Maybe he's in a church. Maybe he's in a cathedral. Maybe he's in orphanage. He's somewhere. And if we read visual text, he's sitting like and playing chess with a puppet, with a victim. From my point of view, he has this voyeuristic, sadomasochistic activity, but he needs social mask. From my point of view, I would make this, distraction. Svetlana Makarovich, this author of this picture book, in 2000 got with Marko Rupnik most prestigious award in Slovenia. And she declined. And she said, I don't want to accept this award because Marko Rupnik is abuser. And she refused. She refused it. Maybe. And after that, in 2000, Slovenian Ministry of Education expelled her also from the curriculum. Marko Rupnik has this award. Maybe this is intertextual connection with everybody who has social mask of celebrity, of art, and he's playing with her mosaic and so on. And in this picture book, we have so many different levels. For example, snake from the Bible, the cat, according to Marie-Louise von Franz, the cat is Saint Mary. Holy Spirit, it could be her soul. And at the end, you could read visual text also. And this wolf gave her name. That means he could control her. Yeah. He could control her. But he also gave her a word. It is also interconnectivity with Marko Rupnik. And, for example, the subject, the Little Red Riding Hood, is already present in the act of her own conception of death, abuse, rape, or violence. You know what the middle finger means? She's without any protection. This is her grave. This is after the fall. The wolf ate victim in a safe place, safe school, not just safe church. This is the end of this story, but I now would like to conclude. I start with the children of Hamelin from the 13th century. And it was the Pope and the Pueri. This was a children's crusade. And also the Pope Innocent discussed this children's crusade or maybe pedophilia in the 13th century. We also discussed this 2 months ago with Janez Cerar, an association of Enough is Enough. 2 months ago. That means the Pope is always connected somehow with these big events. And at the end, I would like to show you, I have some ideas. This is also the Children of Hamelin. We have also the poem of Goethe, also, but of also on another musician. I have some ideas according to literature. This is a very nice book. Why don't we have a children's writing? Are you there, God? God, it's me. Margaret, it's me. Victim, it's me. Whatever. We could have oral storytelling. We could have written storytelling. And I would like to propose, according to Tove Jansson, to move from the invisible to visible child. Could you show you Google Map? No? Oh, okay, thank you.
I'm so sorry that I have to be the one who says the time is over, but to get forgiveness, I would like to thank you because it's interesting. I think that today, on this academic day, we also get insights from humanities, so literature, because I'm a philosopher for formation, so I really appreciate this contribution.
We also made anthology of poems on the topic of children's rights. That means the children could also learn something from poetry. This is about children's rights, every poem. If you would like, you could take a look. Thank you.
Thank you.